What's up, Laker fans? Before we jump into today's show, quick favor to ask. We are almost, and yes, I say almost, to 44,000 subscribers. Help us out. Help us get there. We just need 86 more, as I misspeak here, to get to 44K. If you want more Lakers news, rumors, free agency, and off-season coverage, we got you covered here on the Lakers Report, so hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 44,000 by the end of this weekend, so help us out and subscribe. You're watching the Lakers Report by Chat Sports. I am Harrison Graham. A lot of buzz continues to circulate around the Lakers coaching search, so I thought we'd do something a little bit different on today's video. Coaches to avoid in this hiring cycle. We'll take a look at some names in a moment, but these have been some reported candidates early on in the going. Mark Jackson, the former Golden State Warriors head coach and now ESPN broadcaster. Terry Stotts, former Trailblazers head coach. Darvin Ham, the assistant with Milwaukee. Adrian Griffin, the Raptors assistant. Kenny Atkinson, the assistant with Golden State, also former Nets head coach. And then Charles Lee, another Milwaukee assistant. 6 names that have been linked to the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, a report dropped on Thursday that the Lakers would be interested if Doc Rivers got fired or if he wanted to walk away. Now, here on Friday, Daryl Morey says Doc Rivers will be back in the saddle for the 22-23 season for the Philadelphia 76ers. So, looks like he is out of the mix as a potential candidate. Quite frankly, I don't think they should hire Doc anyway. Not that he's not a decent coach. I do think he's a good coach. I don't think he's a great coach, though, especially at this point in his career. He kind of is what he is. You're going to make the playoffs with him. You going to win a chip with him, though? Probably not. I'd rather go in a different direction. Name a coach that you don't want to hire as the next Lakers head coach, because there's a lot of guys that keep getting jobs, and I'm not sure why. Let us know in the comments who a name out there that you've heard around the Lakers as someone you don't want to be repping the purple and gold. Do not hire the following coaches. We will go one by one here. Scott Brooks, who is now an assistant with the Portland Trailblazers. It's okay if you didn't know that, because not many people do, to be honest. When producer Sam Brown told me that, I was like, I'll be honest, I totally forgot they hired him under Chauncey Billups. Pros and cons to Scott Brooks. I almost said Scott Foster. I hope we'll see you in Phoenix on Sunday. Here are some pros. Nearly 20 years of NBA coaching. He's experienced with stars, obviously with Russell Westbrook as well, has that familiarity. Cons, 1 finals appearance in 12 years as a head coach, and that was with one of the most talented teams in NBA history with the Thunder. Washington tenure was pretty shaky, and I feel like he's maxed out as a coach, to be completely honest. Here's my problem with this. Scott Brooks' pitch to the Lakers is probably, I could save Russell Westbrook. Do you want to, though? Do you want to keep Russ? I think goal number 1 of this offseason is getting rid of Russell Westbrook, getting him out of Los Angeles. So I'm out on Scott Brooks. I'm not interested. He's been rumored around this job, and quite frankly, I think you can do a lot better. Next up on our do not hire coaching candidates for the Los Angeles Lakers, Steve Clifford, number 1, bad last name. Number 2, failed in Orlando. I mean, that's what this thing comes down to. I just don't love the idea of bringing in a guy who has head coaching experience just because he has experience when he hasn't really won that much. 1 playoff experience with the Hornets, below 500. 2 with Orlando, below 500. I get it. Those are tough coaching jobs, and he wasn't a disaster. It's not like he was, losing 65 games a year consistently, just below 500. Same time, though, this is the Lakers. This isn't, the Pacers, right? The Pacers getting Rick Carlisle would be 10x the freaking Lakers getting Steve Clifford. You got to be kidding me. So I don't want the big red dog, and I don't want Steve Clifford. That's all I'm saying. More coaches to break down that I don't want in Los Angeles in a moment, but before we get there, make sure you help support the Lakers Report by following us on Rumble. The link is below, rumble.com/LakersTV. If you've already subscribed on YouTube and if you're looking for other ways to support the channel, then go follow us over there because we'll have you covered with more news and rumors. Rumble also has other content creators, sports, politics, business, whatever your flavor is. Go check it out, rumble.com/LakersTV. Okay, let's go to the next guy. Mike D'Antoni, who quite frankly, is a pretty decent coaching candidate overall, but A, he's old, and B, do you really want to bring back Mike D'Antoni? Remember, he's coached before for the Lakers, and it didn't exactly work. 67 and 87 over about a 2.5 year span. It was not a successful tenure in Los Angeles. Now, he certainly had some good teams. He's been on some nice runs. He's never won a title, but I thought he did pretty well with Houston. I think they might have won an NBA championship had they not had Chris Paul get hurt in that 17-18 season. But at the end of the day, he hasn't won one. He's older, and he didn't do well in L.A. before. I think the idea of bringing back coaches that you had before that you fired, got rid of, doesn't really make sense. Remember when the Cavs tried to bring back Mike Brown and recreate the magic, and he was gone in like 2 weeks or whatever? It doesn't work. It just does not work. You can't go down this road again. You can't sell it to the fan base. I like D'Antoni. I think the Hornets with LaMelo Ball to run and gun, that sounds fun. But with aging stars like LeBron and AD, do you really want to run that up-tempo style and try to get Mike D'Antoni that type of basketball here in LA? I don't think it's going to work with these current players. Any interest in hiring him? Type Y for yes. Type in for no. Be real if you want him. Hell, type Y. That's all good. I don't. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm sticking away from Mike D'Antoni if I'm Los Angeles. David Fizdale, who's kind of the top assistant with the Lakers right now. Obviously, Frank Vogel's gone, so he's kind of that top internal candidate. But I've never understood this idea either, like, oh, let's fire the head coach and just promote the assistant. I guess it's worked in the past for some teams, but I don't know if it really makes sense here, to be honest. He did okay with the Grizzlies, did not do well with the Knicks. He went an abysmal 21 and 83 in just over a season. He was so bad they fired him a quarter into his second year there. But he'll probably get another chance somewhere. I just hope it's not with the Lakers at the end of the day. When the best thing Fizdale is known for is take that for data. That was him, right? Yes, it was. Just making sure. I don't know. I don't know if a quote is something a head coach should be known for more than anything else. Sure, LeBron has voiced support, but, do you really want to give him a third shot with a better job than he's had? I don't know. If he wants to stay on as an assistant with the new coach, if that could work out, sure. But I don't think I'm hiring him as my head coach. Yes, Phil Jackson, the fan base. Some of them want him back. Guys, Phil Jackson's 76. And by the way, him going public and saying the Lakers should trade to LeBron and keep Russ, and he's too old. He hasn't coached in forever. When he went to the Knicks to be their GM, basically, it was a freaking disaster. You don't want Phil Jackson. Believe me on that. Don't let him tarnish his legacy any further at this point. It's not going to happen. He's not going to take the job, and you don't want him to take the job. He'll be an advisor. That's fine, I guess. Don't give him power on personnel, but he can be a resource for the franchise. But, hey, you guys, I see the comments. You guys keep speculating. I won't buy into it. I would not hire Phil Jackson if I was L.A. I would rather go with a first-year head coach than a retread. Stop bringing back these guys. Not that Jackson's a retread. He's just old and retired. But like Steve Clifford and David Fizdale. I'd rather get a fresh voice in there than go that route. I really would. I'd rather go Darvin Ham. I'd rather try something different than bring in a guy who has failed at other jobs. I just don't think that makes sense for a franchise like the Lakers. All right, subscribe to the Lakers Report today if you want more videos to come, and we will have more videos for you. And by the way, type Lakers if you made it to the end of the video. We appreciate all you real ones for sticking with us throughout the longevity of these shows. YouTube.com/LakersTV. We'll see you soon here on the Lakers Report.